Jane?
I'm ready, Ellen.
Okay. 응답하라 여친.
Go to the in to the 실.
박 to the kyung to the ju. It never gets old for me. So how many episodes are we on? Not quite 10, but we're getting it going.
Yeah. 10. I think it was episode 10. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Like,
oh, our podcast. I thought you were talking about what we were going to talk about today.
No. I was like, no, I don't think we're on episode 10. I was talking about us. Okay. You were talking about the other. Okay. We'll get there. But before we get to anything, I want to talk about our biggest fan.
My mom.
I love her. So Jane told me that her mom loves our show. Mm-hmm. And the way that filled me up, you will never know. Not only just because, it was such a heartwarming review of our podcast, but also it's like your mom.
Yeah, she has always been my biggest fan,
and
I think.
I've never had that. So I'm going to steal your mom.
She's your biggest fan too now.
Stop.
Yes.
No, I'm going to steal her when
She's
you're not looking. You better be careful, Jane. Okay, read what she wrote about us, because I love it. We have to be
it here.
And she wrote like one of those paid reviewers. And I know you didn't pay her.
She didn't know that she was writing like a Google review.
She wrote such a...
We need to copy, paste, and put it on.
She wrote such an in-depth, detailed review.
Oh, I should have had this ready and pulled up.
It's all right.
But she says...
Let's hear it.
Absolutely love your podcast. No boring moments. The conversation carries along effortlessly, and the Yeochins make a perfect combo, balancing and complementing each other so well. I love to listen while I'm in the kitchen preparing dinner, and she says LOL at moments. It's funny, entertaining, and very relevant. I hope it gets lots of followers. And then she listened to the episode about what type of mom are you? And she's like, I love this episode. She said, I wish it was longer. And I told her it's better to leave people wanting more than wishing it would wrap up. And she's like, okay, I agree.
That's true. You don't want to go overboard. Yeah.
No. So she said, I love that it flows so well and it's not boring or awkward.
Oh,
thank you, Mama.
This fills my void of having no parent ever proud of me. Sorry, I can say Jane is like this is painful.
You can laugh about it.
I can laugh about it, and I realized that people's tolerance for that kind of humor is you're like, oh, Ellen, oh, do I cry for you? Do I laugh for you? I am very at a place where I openly talk about it. So
because you know that it doesn't define you.
Yeah,
right?
I've gone past the hurt, and now I can laugh because I'm dead inside. So
you are very much not dead inside. You're very alive.
This is a cackle of a corpse. No, but if I met your mom, she's not here. She's in LA.
Yes.
I would totally pull up the aegyo on her.
I know you would.
You know that
she would love it.
Yeah, all the moms love me except my own moms. Every mom in the world loves me except my own birth mother and my stepmother. That's fine. But
what would your mom think about this podcast? Is she even aware?
No. We're not even going to speak that into existence.
Okay.
But if I met your mom, I would just be all over, oh, mommy. It would be so, you would just be like, I don't know this person. And I thought when we met, you would have a lot of aegyo.
Really? Why did you think that?
I think you have this look about you that's very Korean, very
I think I also fooled my mother-in-law too.
Yeah, and I could believe that. Meanwhile, if we go to a Korean restaurant, the ajumas eat me up, or I eat them up. I'm like, 언니, because I don't even call them ajuma. Obviously,
언니.
don't call
not even emo. Not
no,
even
I don't
auntie.
even do the emo.
No.
I'm like 언니.
Straight 언니.
오징어 볶음 되게 맛있어요. It's like, 더 이쁘지셨네요. I don't know what it is about older ajumas. They just bring out the worst in me in aegyo. But I don't like aegyo from a woman to a man.
That's a little bit
That's
different.
cringe, which brings us to the topic.
Dun, dun, dun.
Love after divorce. I did my homework.
You really did.
And yeah, because Jane was the one that was already watching it. And I was like, fine, I guess I'll watch it. And I did. Jane, I have watched my share of reality show, dating show things. I have never cared less.
So you're done. You don't even want to finish it.
Well, I will finish it. Okay. I'm too invested now. Yeah. I'm up. We got all caught up to episode 9. By the time we release this, I'm sure a new episode will have come out. But where we are now, I legit could not care about any of these people.
That's what my husband said.
Yes.
He said that there's nobody that he wants to cheer for or 응원해줘.
Yeah.
So he is not having fun. But he listens. I mean, he watches it because he likes my commentary.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Jerome is funny.
Yeah. Charming.
Likeable, charming.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of all the guys.
Yeah.
Who did you think was cute? Like, if you had to pick.
Physically
See what I mean?
attractive.
Jane made a face. I don't know. If you're just listening, you won't see it. But she
what
made...
was my face? I made that emoji face. You know the emoji face that's like the squiggly,
yeah, like,
squiggly line. Like,
I'll give you the sound effect. That was the face Jane made. Because none of the guys I didn't think are attractive at all.
I didn't think so.
I was like, oh my God, this is all very, yup, 맞아, she. This is so, and you know, in a way, this is what we kind of asked for, right? Break the whole Korean drama.
Sure. And they sure did.
See what I mean? Jane has a little like dig. She can get into. They sure did.
They sure did.
That was all Jane, y'all. This is why I love this girl because she can rock it with me. We can go to hell a little bit.
Your assessment was spot on. That the women were all attractive.
Yes.
And the men in comparison, very underwhelming.
Very. I mean, I never thought that I would think back about Singles Inferno, which did you watch?
Oh yeah, I'm obsessed.
I was like, wow, I had no idea that would be such a better level of men. Like I thought they were all right.
I mean, just a better level of eye candy.
Yeah, like I was like, oh man, this is what happens. And I guess, but that's also like life after 40 or almost for most.
It was sad. Because on the one hand, I could relate.
I know.
These were clearly regular people.
Yes.
And I do get the sense, which endeared them to me, that they're really there to find love after divorce.
Yes. This was the realest dating show I've ever seen. In fact, it might have been too real. Sometimes it was like watching paint dry.
So we don't like fantasy, but we also don't like too real.
I was like, oh my God, this is it also moved at the pace of like a real life.
True. But I mean, you think about them filming and so much happens in one day.
Right.
Like,
and if that's the best that they could pull,
love or getting deep into feelings, catching feelings, and it's been only a day or half a day.
Yeah.
You know?
But so little happens.
Everything is made to be this big thing.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine if they didn't have Jerome? There would be no humor.
Right.
They'd all just be like,
I'm very curious as to how they casted. Right? It's not like they all had huge personalities.
No, they were very underwhelming. They were, I mean, I'm so torn because in one way, like we said, this really is the anti-reality show realness. But at the same time, I was just like, if I wanted if I wanted realness like this, I would just I listen to my friends.
And I think what made it even more real is that this season 4, was the Miguk edition.
Yes.
The American
You watched
edition.
the other seasons?
I have not.
Okay,
no.
I did not either. This was the first time,
Yes,
right?
This was the first time our friends turned us onto it, and they said, hey, this time it's Korean Americans.
Yeah.
So
that was
immediately
yeah.
intrigued.
But did you feel like they were more Korean than
100%,
yeah, I was like, this is not when I think of Korean Americans, I think like more, I don't know. I thought they were very well more Korean born or Korean based.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them are living in the States. But
yeah. I think they all are, except for the Vancouver one.
Right. So in North America, but it seemed that most of them were very Korean in that they grew up in Korea and moved to the States for college or careers. Yeah. So, and currently they're living in the States. But what I thought was interesting was that the MCs, do they not have an idea of what it's like to be Korean American?
No, yeah. That was actually, I think the most fascinating thing about that show was the MCs and their perspectives. They're so Korean.
Yes, yes.
And the things they would say, like, oh, this is how they do it in America. I was like, wow, it's they're getting such a like, voyeurism, like that kind of like something I guess they really are not used to.
Right. And when they would be so shocked if people were being forward, what they thought was forward, which to us,
we're like, oh my God, nobody's even kissed yet. Actually, episode 9, there was a peck. That was it.
I was happy that happened.
Yeah, something happened, so that was good. But if there was anyone that I cannot stand,
I already know.
Harim.
Uh-huh.
She is the epitome of why I don't have Korean girlfriends, minus you.
Am I your only Korean girlfriend?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do I have? Yeah. She is the like when I think Korean. The reason why I don't hang out with Korean people, it's her.
Why? What about her?
What I would call Daesung.
I don't know what Daesung is.
Like.
Oh.
Like
how would we describe that?
Daesung. Fake.
Okay. Kind of flighty? No.
It's called Daesung means like putting on a show. Like so the whole cover your mouth.
Sure.
Like the way her voice goes higher around the guys. The constant like hair touching and just it's just so much.
It is a very unfamiliar for most people to have reality cameras in here and filming every interaction.
No. I know girls like Harim. And she's from Bellevue, Washington.
Oh, my.
Did you know this?
I mean, I knew she was from the Seattle area.
She's from Bellevue. And I was like, oh, she's so Bellevue. You know what I'm talking about. Bellevue, mother. Okay.
I don't interact with
it's because you're in
Bellevue
Seattle. Exactly.
So.
The only reason we're friends is because you're from Seattle. It's a regional thing, you guys. So Seattle's like real city life. Bellevue is the burbs with money.
Would a person from Bellevue ever say, I'm from Seattle?
Would a person from Bellevue say, well, she says she's from Seattle. But then
I'm
you
thinking
dig.
That's because of the show.
Yeah, like if you actually lived in Washington, they would be like, "Oh, I'm from Bellevue." Yes, you're right. Yeah. They would let it be known that they're from Bellevue, especially Korean women.
Yes.
But I can't stand her. Like there have been several times I just want to punch her. I know violence is not the answer. Kids, violence is not the answer. But do you? There's a moment.
Yes.
That I legit got so much rage. It was when Sora.
Yes.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
I wanted to grab Harim and throw her across the. I was
It's
so
the-
pissed.
Was it a 2-1? No, it was a doubles date, or it was that ATV date.
Yes, afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sora Harim already at this point likes Ricky and has made it known.
she had, yeah. She
After switching from
exactly,
Dewey.
exactly. So let's go back to that.
Okay.
She
So-
announced that I got my eyes set on Dewey, which, and even that whole exchange was so flip flop. Like, he didn't do what I wanted him to do. So it was just like, oh my God, which one am I gonna pick?
Right. And she didn't seem all that into Ricky.
Right.
beginning.
It was almost like, you're my backup. And now that Dewey didn't deliver exactly what I wanted him to deliver, like noticed me in pain, which all that was, again, desung.
And I think that's fine. You can
Flip-flop?
flip-flop. But to announce it when you're in that situation where it seemed like the women were respecting the boundaries.
Yeah.
As soon as she said,
And I love
I
that
like
Sora
Dewey.
was like, you announced to all of us that Dewey was yours. It felt like he's off limits to the rest of us. And then she was like, oh, no. I was just saying, like, I thought we were just having girl time. I was like, girl. 거짓말 너무 잘해. Like, she's such a good liar. You play back that tape. This is not girl talk. The way she said it was like, I already know I like Dewey. You don't say it like that in that kind of setting. And you know this is like a reality show move.
yes.
It's a known move to claim your stake.
Uh-huh.
Is that a saying? Stake your claim? Claim your stake?
I think that's right. I'm
Stake your
confused
claim?
now.
I think it's stake your claim.
Okay. We'll go with that.
You're the anchor. You should know these things. Fact check me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, the flip flop already made me irritated. It made her look insincere, which is my biggest problem with her. I don't buy anything that she says. And then that moment, take us to that moment, which you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sora discovered.
That she maybe is developing feelings for Ricky.
Yeah.
And
Was this after she had the talk with Ricky and saying,
no,
this was before.
Before.
Yeah.
Because she's just discovering this.
yeah.
She discovers that, he's very considerate, like helping Sora put on the helmet.
Yeah.
Right. And they had an enjoyable
And she really enjoyed
ride.
that. Yeah.
And then I think maybe they're changing to go into the water or something.
Yeah.
And Sora says, you overhear her telling Harim, I think I like Ricky. Just telling.
Yeah.
And processing that. And what does Harim say? She says, oh, go ahead.
Oh, you're talking about that moment.
Yeah. And then Sora says, well, I don't need your permission. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love Sora's honesty. No, that's not where I wanted to punch
okay.
him. Here's the moment. So I think this is after.
Okay.
After Sora talks to Ricky and finds out that all the things that she's been doing, he didn't even notice because he's a man.
Right,
And that's whatever. Like, she scooted closer because she's not like a full-on, like, Harim. She
Sure.
wants to be, she's a little bit more. And I think this is the genuine thing. She's trying in her own way to get his attention, but it's not, because she's not aggressive like Harim, right? But then after talking to him, she realizes, like, she's maybe too late. She missed her chance, right? And she's genuinely sad about it. She's on the couch.
Right.
And she's, like, almost in tears.
Right.
And then I think Bonita was on the other side of her. And she's like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm pretty sad. And it's very obvious why Sora's sad. But then
I
Harim
remember
goes,
this now.
Harim's like, the nesung, are you okay? Are you okay? And then she tries to scoot her. And then Sora puts her hands up like, no. Like, not you, bitch. She didn't say that, but you know what I mean? The body language is very clear.
Sure.
Not you, bitch. And then she still inched closer, like, because she needs to act like she is the nice girl. That she didn't do anything wrong. And she had no idea what was happening. And I, that moment, wanted to grab her and throw her out of there because too much. 죽여주고 싶었어. Like, I wanted to kill her.
But don't you think that it's inevitable to an extent for there to be love triangles?
Yes.
Would there have been a situation where that would not have been annoying? Maybe if she were more open or genuine.
Yes. The thing that I can't stand, and in general, I hate fake ass people.
Yeah.
I'm also a very personally, like, I love the way Sora speaks her mind.
Yes.
Like, you could do, I wasn't asking, I love, like, that thing you said. I wasn't asking for permission. Yeah.
That for me was the
I
moment.
was like, yeah. And then, did you hear Harim backpedal? Like, oh, yeah, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, again, you didn't mean it like that? You said it like that. You laid your claim on Dewey, and now you're letting me know that you're onto Ricky, and it's like, whoa. But I loved Sora for that reason. I also love Bonita because they're very
I really like Bonita.
They're very, it just feels honest.
Yeah.
With Harim, and I'm caught up onto episode 9, and people gave me shit on my review.
Because they said, oh, you don't know her
Yeah,
story.
They say just wait till episode 9. You're going to regret
You had already watched it, though.
No.
Oh, not yet.
So, the early episode reviews, I said from the get-go, I'm very big on first impressions. I know that doesn't define a person.
No, but it says a lot about a person.
Yeah, especially when you walk in and you have the time to try to put your best foot forward. And from the get-go, I did not like her energy. I sensed something was off with her. And also the whole submissive like girl thing. It gives me the ick. She gives me the ick. She gives me the ick. Oh, that's exactly what it is.
Men can't really see through
men
that.
Men
they
eat
fall
this
on
shit
that
up.
First impression.
Oh my God. The way they were all just eating out of her hand. I was like, 너 이래서 이혼한 거야. That's why you got divorced. Sorry, that was me.
I felt this about many of the men.
Yeah.
What my gripe about this show, Ellen, is that yes, absolutely, they should find love after divorce.
Yeah.
But do they have to find it among them? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
The pool was so small.
Oh.
And
it just
I'm like, that did not seem fair to me for the women.
Yeah.
They're all accomplished career women.
Can I go back to Harim?
Sure.
So when I did the earlier episode of, I said, I already know that this is the worst girl, and she's going to. And I usually, I'm very supportive of other women. I'm all about supporting women, but I was like, this girl is gonna ruin for other chances for people's relationships. That's how I felt about her.
I think is that.
Yeah,
other people did not get to explore.
Yes,
whether there could be something developing with.
And when I went hard on her, people were like, "Oh, you're so mean." And I know that somebody wrote on one of my comments, "You're gonna regret what you said after you watch episode 9, right?" I watched episode 9. No regrets. No regrets. I hate her even more now. You know why? Because, okay, something is not adding up. Mm-hmm. Something is not adding up, Jane. She is mother of 3 children.
Yes.
Single mother.
Yes.
She is the primary child. She has primary care, right? Mm-hmm. What do you call that?
I don't know. More custody.
Yeah, primary custody. Primary custody. She has primary custody of 3 kids. Her youngest is 2. Mm-hmm. They're all pretty young. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me it's only on the very last episode, leading up to the children reveal, that you have a breakdown? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, hysterical.
And the thing is, there are other people with children.
Yeah.
And they knew that going into it. So it's
again, Nesung, so much I don't know how you went through this whole time having the time of your life, and not a single time were you looking. I mean, they show little clips where she was like, it's clear she's thinking about her children here. I'm like, is it? It wasn't clear to me. And I just also, when Ricky asked her, how do you do it? You have 3 kids? Oh my God, it's hard for me just with one. I thought that was very real. I
literally was so stressed out watching that B-roll, because can you imagine day to day with 8'6", something like that.
Exactly. That role did not look real to me. There is no way she's doing that alone. So
I hope not.
No,
I
there's
hope
no
not.
way. There's no freaking way. And the way when Ricky asked, like, hey, it's so hard for me to do just one.
Yeah.
How do you do it? She's just like, oh. Like, no, like, yeah, I do it.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, like, who's living with you? Your mother is living with you. Why are you mum about the details? Because the B-roll that I thought that was the most unrealistic B-roll. She's just like, over here with one child, over here with the other child. There's something.
I think it would be impossible.
Yeah, and we have two. And you know, can you imagine going on a trip? We have our partners, and even then we're freaking
hard.
Yeah.
Even now, it's hard to go on a trip and leave.
Just the thought stresses you out,
leave
right?
The kids with just my husband.
You left
it's a
3
lot.
kids
It's a lot.
and one under 2.
Yeah,
and you're telling me you had no help?
Right.
There's no way.
To clarify, it's not the judgment of leaving.
It's not.
them to
No.
go
That's
on
fine.
this
That's fine. But you're not being
reality show.
honest here. What's the? And he asked you in such a real way. Like, I find it a struggle to be just with one.
His sincerity,
Yes.
which is a little bit red flag for me, is that I do feel he's being genuine in his feelings.
Yes.
And he's falling harder and
Yes.
harder.
And I am scared for him.
And when he said 괜찮아 after the reveal, he's comforting her.
Yeah.
But she took it to mean, oh, it's totally fine. And I'm thinking, you guys are going to need to work this out and have some serious conversations.
She's hiding things. You can tell.
It's real. It's very real. If she has 3 kids and she's here in Seattle and he has 1 and he's in Orange County, California.
Yeah.
And he moved to be close to the child. I'm like, that is some real stuff that they need to discuss and work out.
Exactly.
But I did not take it to mean I'm committed in this relationship with you type of thing. And
well, that's the other thing about it that doesn't make sense. So also, before the reveal, actually, she was going on about, I just worry for him. I was like, what? You worry for him?
Facetious.
Yeah.
That seemed very facetious. It's, and I could totally understand the anxiety.
Yeah.
And immediately, right, my husband and I are watching and we're like, oh, she has kids. That's obviously why she's scared about if that's going to change Ricky's feelings. But when she's talking to the camera and says, I'm worried that he will face criticism if he changes my mind after this reveal. That was so like, how'd you get there?
Exactly. There's something off here that is not adding up. How does again, this is not the judgment about her going on the show. I have no issues with that. I love the idea of you go on a show, it's hard to date after divorce, especially being Korean, and especially having kids, right? But her mindset about then to say, oh my gosh, I worry about the backlash he's going to receive, like if he rejects me. What? First of all, why as a woman do you think that it's even appropriate? Like, she's already like thinking he's going to reject. One could say, I think it's for garnering attention. I can't help but feel that, because if you love your children and they are your everything, why would you put this man who you don't even really know, like after how many days?
4 days.
4 days? Why would you put his feelings above your own freaking children? Like, you're worried about him not accepting your children? That's a huge red flag.
That's what I didn't buy, was that those tears were for fear of the criticism that he might. It was so much projecting.
Yes, so much projecting.
Instead of, no, that's very real. That anxiety that you feel, that if the guy that you have feelings for learns that you have 3 kids, that could be intimidating. That is very real, and something that viewers everywhere, divorced or not, can relate to.
Totally.
And who knows? He could face criticism, but that's that would be uncalled for.
Right, but to take that leap and be like, I'm afraid for the backlash.
I'm already here. Like, I know that, right? And to your point, obviously we didn't see it, but this was the first time she had a mental breakdown. Before then, it was just cloud nine.
Yeah, and that love. Again is which is what I said about the very first episode. I said she seems very staged, orchestrated. Like the first episode, she cried, and it's like, you're just doing your intro. Why are you already crying? Like, I mean, yes, it's painful to talk about your past. God knows, I know.
I want to know more about that. I'm like, are we going to learn more about this? She said her husband was his family was very, very religious.
Yes, that's another thing. How do you have 3 children? You have 3 children with this man, and you didn't know his religion was serious? Huh?
I was thinking, okay, she was with the man who she felt very oppressed in this relationship, and then by his religion. I thought she was going to say she has 3 kids, and then her ex took them or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
like you're right. You thought it was going to be more. You thought it was going to be seriously traumatic.
Yeah.
But no, this woman is just like crying her eyes out that she has 3 children. That is something, it's not adding up. Her story, it doesn't, it just feels insincere. She's hiding something, or I can't. my red flags,
it was going.
Yeah, I was like, you're not being honest, because nobody, like, the mental gymnastics she's doing is too much. You have 3 kids, you love them. Why are you already thinking about the backlash this man you hardly know is going to receive over your children?
Yeah.
Which then tells me you care so much about what other people think.
Right.
That's at the...
What's scary to me is that how much do they really think that they're leaving this show in love with someone after... I could understand that for shows like Singles Inferno.
Right.
Or,
you have to pick somebody. But couldn't you not pick somebody?
But to me, I'm like, are we going to be very careful about who we find love with after?
And also, if you found out you were somebody's backup, second choice, because, like Soda, I was like, Soda girl, don't be this person's third choice,
Yeah,
Like, you don't have to leave here with any of them.
You do not have to force it.
Yeah.
I feel like I would know.
You would know
Day
what?
2, if something's going to happen or not.
I feel like I knew day 1 when they walked on. I was like, this is not. I'd be like, hey,
that would be
I'm not gonna be finding
the
it.
Best.
I listen.
They just walked out. And then in the confessional, I already knew that. Yeah,
have you heard of Love at First Sight? Well,
Walked out at first sight.
I've experienced walkout at first sight. It was so. Am I harsh?
No, I think you're honest. I think you say a lot of the things that people have been thinking.
But don't say. But don't say. But she's from here. What if I run into her at H Mart?
Then you have to run and hide, I think.
I mean, do you know girls like that? You know she's a type.
Ellen, I'm not friends with girls like that. So I can confidently say no.
I'm so proud of you. This is why I love you.
I can sense it too. And I just walk away. We can go our different paths.
Yeah. But I do feel like, you know why? This is the stereotype that guys have about Korean women. I think that's another reason why I can't stand her. Like the whole feminine, quiet, like that, okay. And the classic example, Sora is so freaking beautiful.
Yes, and is not like that. And that is why the guys, she just flies under the radar.
Yeah. Well, she's also like got a killer career, smart, and sexy as hell.
Yes.
Like when she walked in, I was like, oh my God. But the men are intimidated by her
Yes,
look. Like they say, what did they say?
너무 세. I mean, she
사나워
knew that
보인다.
too. She said
Yeah.
that I don't think I made like I was anybody's first impression pick.
Yeah.
Because I think I look too strong.
Isn't that sad? I think that's, and I found her to be one of the most gorgeous. Her and Bonita were the most gorgeous in my opinion. But the fact that she even recognizes that amongst our men, like Korean men,
Right. That means she's experienced that
that's
many times.
and yet she is one of the softest hearted person on that show and the realist in my opinion.
Realist
when she
about
cries,
her insecurities.
Yeah.
She's real about when she says I didn't she talks about how she has a hard time putting herself out
yes, and how like, oh, it feels really bad to be like chosen last every time. Like,
Yeah.
but when she cries, it just felt so real because she was in the moment of talking about her insecurities, and then it just, oh my God, like, I can't believe I'm talking about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Harim cries is like, I'm sorry, I'm a bitch. Yeah, it's true. I was like, I can't. The whole body shaking on the bed. It's like that TikTok thing that you see where, remember that lady who was on the bed and she was like, this was the worst breakup I've ever had in my entire, have you seen that?
I
And
have
then she
seen
shook
that. Big
in
memories.
I'm
Yes.
like, girl, you set the camera
Right.
up and you filmed it and
Yeah.
you, that's Harim.
I have to give it to all the other contestants, Harim included, that everybody comes off as respectful to one another.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will say the biggest respect that I had was for Bonita when she was like, I can respect Harim's game.
Uh-huh.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, in that moment, I was like, no, that girl is a snake.
I feel she's very real, Bonita.
She's very
It's
level-headed.
very like this.
She's like, you would be Bonita.
But
You're so level-headed. Yeah, no, that's what I
she's-
mean.
I think she's very protective of
Yeah.
her heart, rightly so. I don't blame her for that.
yeah.
And I think she's very cerebral. Like,
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
gonna let my feelings,
Even the way she
emotions
talks to the guy, she's like,
Yeah.
I could go either way,
Uh-huh.
you or Tom.
Right,
I was
right.
like, oh, sounds so unromantic. Like, she is like,
That's the thing.
I'm being
Unromantic
realistic
because,
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
very realistic. So she's on the other end of the spectrum.
I haven't seen the other seasons. I did wonder, like, do they not get to just be like, no thanks?
Right.
I mean, do they have to pick someone?
No, I don't think they have to.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you, and then Jisoo.
As another one.
No, I just don't even understand the least. I mean, I could see it later, but the least attractive to me was Jimmy. Like, just if we're talking,
Oh, right.
I did not understand.
She fell for that.
I was like,
you know, his being considerate.
I
The 8 relationships since the divorce gets me. I have not
How?
had 8 relationships
how?
in total at all.
And actually, like, the panel always joking about, like, oh, he's experienced. I'm like, with men, this is another whole misogyny
Yes.
thing. Had that been about a woman, they wouldn't have
been
even
around the block. She's,
Yeah, like, how could she be like that? But here they're like, wow.
He has a lot of experience.
Wow, he must have something going on. Wow. Everything is like, wow, he knows so much. I'm like, he couldn't even look at her when they were dancing. Remember when they were dancing and he put his hands on a imaginary air?
Uh-huh.
Or no, he put it on himself. Because he couldn't put his hands on her waist. I'm like, how is that a 8 relation? Well, yeah. And then when he couldn't look at her,
Uh-huh.
he's like, he had his eyes kept doing the whole. Anyways,
I couldn't with his little comments. Like, 업어줄까? Do you want me to piggyback you? No, thank you.
Can you imagine if a man, if I was like, yeah, what was that?
Why do you think that would be desired?
So what if she had said yes? You're going to literally pick her up and carry her in front of this other girl you liked? Insane. I don't know. That guy's, I don't know if
One thing that I can't get out of my head is the orange shorts.
Oh. 옆집 아저씨. Okay, well, there's 14 episodes apparently. I don't know.
Gosh,
So
still,
do they do
a month to go?
Yeah, they must do like do they do a follow-up where they go
Like
back
a reunion
to
show. I would love that. I would love to see.
Yeah, cuz I want to see if they actually carry out. You know, I will say as much as I can't stand Harim, like it's like you said, Ricky's feelings for her seem very real.
Very real.
And I was like,
And I'm interested to see how they work it out.
if they do.
Yeah.
I wish
With
them nothing
that-
but the best. Okay.
We had so much fun talking about this.
Yeah, write to us. Let us know. You know, if there's other shows we watch, and if you hated my take on Harim, or if you were like, "언니, you're right," because I am. Okay, should we sign off?
Sure. 응답하라
Yeochin!